Hey guys, welcome. I'm going to jump right into it. Today I want to talk to you about what are the three easiest ways that you can improve your karma instantly, the easiest, most effective things that you can do right now. And that includes offering an apology, offering forgiveness, and living in radical gratitude. I talk about these three things all the time. I speak about them as being verbs and not necessarily nouns. I talk about living these things. And so let's get into it. Okay, so there's a reason why I chose these as the top three things and why I feel like these are the most pertinent to talk about. And one of the main reasons is because their effect can be felt immediately. You can't always feel the effects of karma immediately. You can't always see it. I'm always getting asked the question, why is it that evil people are not punished immediately? Why aren't they feeling their karma immediately? Why is it that they seem to live the longest? They seem to be the happiest. They seem to be relishing in all their evil doings. That's a whole other conversation, but feeling the effects of an apology, forgiveness, and radical gratitude is right now. That brings you something instantly. You feel it instantly in your body. You feel it instantly in your mind. The other person feels it, and its effects radiate out so quickly, and like instantly. There really isn't a time span. The first one is apology. And let's define apology first. An apology is some sort of admission of guilt. That's basically acknowledging that you harmed somebody, that you trespass against them in some kind of way, and you committed an offense, a wrongdoing, some error in judgment, some sort of lack was there, and you harmed them. And that could be emotionally, physically, financially, socially, whatever the case is, you've harmed them, or they feel like you've harmed them. And that's a whole different story right then and there. And as you guys know, an apology can not only just be on behalf of yourself, but it's also on behalf of maybe your wife. Maybe you need to apologize to somebody on behalf of your wife or your husband, your children, your pet, your business, your tribe, your nation, your gender, whatever it is. So an apology does not just exist on the personal level. It also exists on a much grander scale as well. Again, I just want to repeat that an apology is not just a noun. An apology or living apologetically if you've done something wrong, that's actually in a verb, that you actually have to do something to make it right. So it starts with actively listening to someone and acknowledging fault. So if somebody tells you, you hurt me, you did something wrong, that's actually listening to them, not interrupting them, hearing them out and understanding that there was some wrongdoing here. So that's the first step in just really acknowledging that there was a problem. And then it's also doing whatever it takes to correct the action. So it's not just about saying something, it's also about making sure that this does not happen again and also correcting it if you can. Some mistakes and some trespass is not correctable. Not all of it is you're going to be able to go back and do, but some of it you can correct, and what you can, you're going to make sure that you do what you can to fix that problem. Okay, so one of the main things I want you to remember about an apology, forgiveness, and gratitude is that it's not just a noun, that it is a verb. That is so important, and that is why a lot of times you don't see the karmic effects of these things, is because just saying that you're sorry about something is not enough. Just telling somebody that you forgive them is not enough. Just saying thank you is not enough. You actually have to be apologetic. You actually have to live in that forgiveness that you offer somebody and accept that forgiveness or forgive yourself. Or you need to be thankful, right? It's not just offering a thank you, it's also being thankful and living that. So how exactly do you live apologetically if you've done something wrong to somebody? It starts with actively listening and understanding that you actually did harm somebody instead of talking over them, disagreeing with them, arguing with them. If somebody's telling you, I'm hurt, you did something wrong to me, then accept that you did something wrong to them. Remember, it's all about perspective. And even if you don't feel like you've done anything wrong, if somebody is telling you, if somebody's willing to share with you that you've done something to harm them, accept that and really understand that this is really good karma on your part, that you're even hearing that from them. A lot of times people go through life and not even understanding how they may have hurt another person and therefore can't even correct the wrong action. So the fact that somebody's even telling you, hey, I was hurt by something you did, that is the universe telling you you have an option to fix this. And that's a wonderful thing. Okay, so after you've acknowledged, after you have listened to that person, you've heard their story, you allow them to speak their truth, whatever the case was, however it made you feel, then what do you do next? The next step is to ensure that this does not happen again. That is that whole living apologetically and making sure that you're never going to make the same mistake again. And then you say, okay, what checks need to be in place for this not to happen? So that also includes correcting behavior on your part, or correcting the behavior of other people as well. Hi, I'm filming right now. Don't worry, you're gonna go out. You will, I promise. Sorry about that. Can you go sit down over there, please? Okay, thank you. Oh, you want to sit with me? Okay, all right. He wants to receive this message also. Okay, this is Chewy, y'all. This is my my human son reincarnated in dog form. Yes. He's such a sweetheart, and you'll probably see a lot more of him. He does not allow me to do anything without his permission around here. Okay. This is real life. This is what it is. All right. So living apologetically and making sure it doesn't happen. Let me share a story with you. As after my appearance on Brother Rich's show, and I began shipping copies of Karmic currency out, we made a couple of mistakes. Okay. Me and my team made a couple of mistakes. Not a lot, you know, out of the many orders that came in. There were a couple of mix-ups, and my business means a lot to me. I really do make sure that everybody is happy. I get things out on time. We don't play any games with that. I run a really tight ship. But when I found out that there were a couple of mistakes made, my integrity is on the line. So what I did was that not only did I reach out and apologize to the people who either got their things late, or maybe it went to the wrong address, I made sure that not only did I ship it out to the right address and issue an apology to them, but I also went back to my team and make sure that we have the right checks in place to ensure that that doesn't happen ever again. Passed to a different person when I found out that maybe somebody wasn't capable of doing something the right way, or they were just not fitted for that particular task. So when your integrity is on the line, you want to make sure that you can do everything that you can to improve that. And that's about karma. That karma is in the way that people view you, the way the world views you. And when you say, I fucked up, that is literally the most freeing thing that you can ever do. That means that you now are telling the universe, I accept truth. I accept people who tell the truth around me. I attract people who tell the truth because I am a truth teller. I'm willing to be that person to say, I made a mistake. I offended someone, or I did something wrong, or I failed in some kind of way. So when you do that, you eliminate a huge burden, a huge spiritual burden off of your shoulders, and you admit fault to something. And guess what? It actually feels good. It feels terrible for a few minutes because you really do have to suppress your ego, but then it starts to feel really good when you realize, okay, we can handle it from there. And guess what? It wasn't that bad, right? They say a coward dies 1,000 deaths, and it is so true. And a lot of those deaths come from not being able to say, I fucked up. So that was apology. Let's get into forgiveness now. This one I think is a little bit harder for most people. This is something that I have often struggled with my entire life, is learning how to truly forgive, and not just say that I forgive somebody, but actually live in that forgiveness and show it through my actions as well. It's very easy to say I forgive you. It's really not easy to actually be forgiving to that person if you really think about that. So what I'm going to say about forgiveness is that it is probably one of the most difficult things that you will have to do in your life, because oftentimes there's not a reciprocal action, if that makes sense. When you are forgiving someone who has harmed you, number one, that person may not even still be around anymore. So you may be trying to forgive somebody who harmed you in your childhood and they're not even around. Number two, there's usually an unwillingness on that other person's part to accept any type of responsibility for it. So that's a huge problem, because our ego does not want to accept that at all. Oftentimes our ego needs that other person to apologize or to acknowledge whatever they did, and that's not always going to happen. As a matter of fact, most of the time that's not going to happen. But as every religion will tell you, as every wise person will tell you, an apology is not necessarily for them. It is for you. Because when you live with that resentment, when you hold on to grudges, it literally manifests in your body as disease. So we're talking aches and body pains. We're talking about cancers. We're talking about autoimmune disease and things like that. You have literally got to give that stuff up for your own health. And that's a whole other topic when we talk about psychospiritual health. But I'm going to tell you that when you do forgive and you actually live in that forgiveness, like in other words, you're not doing passive aggressive things to that person anymore. You're not talking about them behind their back. You're not, offering them terrible thoughts, anymore. You're not treating them in any type of a shady way anymore. Then you know that you have truly forgiven. And I'm going to keep saying it. It is the toughest thing that you will probably ever have to do spiritually, but you have to. And that is part of the work that you do when you are here. When you forgive, you lighten up your body. You alkalinize your blood and your body fluids. You really take this burden out of your body and off of the other person. So you break those karmic bonds as well, and you release them from physical harm and things like that. Your grudge is literally like holding that hot stone in an attempt to throw it at somebody, or cutting off your own nose to spite your face, right? Because you're doing more harm by putting out negative energy. And if you know about the principles of karma, which I mentioned in the book, I talk about the 12 principles of karma that make up the karmic law, then you understand that you are manifested in every single moment. So it would behoove you to forgive somebody. And if you can't, then sometimes you need to go to therapy to do that, as I have. I am all for therapy. I have had to do immense spiritual work. If you guys saw the Black Magic interview, then you know I have had to forgive people who hurt me in childhood. You think about that. Really, who would hurt an innocent child? Who would hurt a little girl? But I have to understand and take accountability spiritually that this is the result of my past life actions, number one. And number two, that this is a part of my destiny and lessons to learn as well. So how do you begin that process of forgiveness? Meditate. Okay, and you guys know what that noise is. He done found one of his squeaky toys, child. So meditate on that. And I don't mean for people to rehash the past. I don't want to trigger anybody and things like that. But if you do need therapy, you need somebody else there to help you out with that, then I am all for getting that. Don't think that you need to take that on yourself. Why on earth would you be trying to take all that spiritual work on yourself? But the first step definitely is to get still, get quiet, and understand. And sometimes that includes reliving it and going through that pain again. But showing that child love, or showing that person love in that moment. So it doesn't always have to be something from childhood. Maybe somebody cut you off in traffic, or maybe, somebody stole something from you. Somebody burglarized your house, or whatever the case is. Somebody stepped on your shoe or bumped into you when you were at Walmart, whatever the case is. So sometimes in those moments you have to forgive and let it go. So get help if you are still holding on to grudges. Understand that you don't have to do it alone, and understand that it is affecting not only your body, but also the things that happen to you. If you judge in that moment, or from the past, or if you hold grudges and resentment, guess what? You're going to have nothing but people and circumstances come to your life where the same exact thing is happening to you. So forgive for your own health and your own safety. And lastly, let's talk about my absolute favorite thing, and that is going to be gratitude. Living in radical gratitude, and not just being thankful. I'm not talking about just praying over your food. I'm not just talking about that type, or saying thank you to the drive-through window, or saying thank you to your coworkers and stuff like that. I'm talking about living in radical gratitude. This is a radical concept. It's an amazing concept, but that is literally being thankful for every single thing. That includes making lists either every morning or every night before you go to bed. That means being thankful for the roads that you drive on, that somebody created those roads for you to drive on. That means being thankful for the people that weaved your clothing. That means being thankful for having a bed to sleep on every single night. That means being thankful for all the food you have in your refrigerator, and your bank accounts, and your car to drive, and the people who made your car. And being thankful for your politicians for running the government and for allowing allowing you to come and go in peace from your home. That means thanking your fire department for being there for you if you ever needed them, right? So that means thanking your spirit for being born in the life that you have and for having peace every single day for those of you who do have that. That means being thankful for freedom. Oh my God. When you have radical gratitude, when you live in radical gratitude, there's no place for depression. There's no place for anxiety. There's no place where there's a lack. You are totally filled up. Every aspect of your life is filled. And even if you don't have a life that's filled with wonderful things, you don't have a lot of people around you, you don't have a lot of family, maybe your family doesn't get along, maybe you don't have a wife, you don't have a husband, you don't have a girlfriend, you don't have children, or you don't have any money, whatever the case is, you're finding something to be thankful for. When you begin to live like that, you elevate your vibe. You elevate the energy that you're putting out. You're putting out nothing but positivity. And being thankful, oh gosh, I forgot about your health. Oh my God, being thankful for these hands that create and that allow me to live a great life and that allow me to work, right? Being thankful for your legs that carry you every day. Oh my gosh, I have so many things to be thankful for, right? And it's not just about waiting and begging for a large bank account or waiting for a sports car outside or waiting for a huge house. It's about being thankful and being in the moment. So it's also a mindfulness activity as well, right? They always talk about living in the moment, but living presently, living right now. You only have this moment, right? Seize the moment, all that stuff. What they're talking about is being currently in that space where you recognize that I do have, there is no lack. There's absolutely no lack around me. When you live in gratitude, when you say thank you to every single thing that you have, every single person that's in your life, and you show them that gratitude by your actions, by your words, your life becomes abundant. You are flush with opportunities, financial opportunities, love opportunities, career opportunities, whatever the case is. Be thankful. Even if there's something in your life that your psyche hates, that your ego hates, it can't stand, you can't wait to get a new job, your boyfriend is not the best, your girlfriend is not the best, your husband is not the greatest thing. Be thankful for what is coming to you. So it's about being thankful for everything that's come to you in the past, every person that's ever been there for you in the past, everything that you've ever had in the past, being thankful for right now, what's in this present, what's in this moment, and also what is coming to you in the future. Whatever I want, I have drawn to myself by living in gratitude for that thing. I imagine myself with that thing. I feel it, I smell it, I can touch it. I use my imagination, my creativity, and I draw that thing to me, right? If I want a car, if I want a specific car, I'm imagining my hand going over that Porsche logo on my steering wheel, right? I'm imagining pulling it into my driveway and the joy I'm going to feel from having that. I'm imagining walking up the steps of my huge house, right? Or I'm making a place in my bed for my man that's going to come there. Whatever it is, I'm being thankful. I'm living that. I'm living it. I'm not just saying it. I'm actually living it. I'm feeling it. I'm filling my heart up with the bliss of having that thing. Living like that, when you do that, you eliminate time constraints. You eliminate financial constraints. You eliminate everything. When you live like that, that stuff is now. It comes now. If you can imagine it, it's already here. It's now. So this is the last thing. Gratitude, apologies, forgiveness. This brings you instant karma that you can feel right this moment. In one of my future videos, I am going to explain to you why you're not able to feel certain things, or why you're not able to see certain things, and why it seems like the bad people get away with everything. It's all about perception. It's all an illusion, and I will do my best to explain it to you. But that's all I have for you today. I am going to take Chewy out for a walk, and yes, I'm going to take him out for a walk and get ready to work on the next one. Thank you for joining me. If you don't have the book already, Karmic Currency, go to www.edenintegrative.org. I'm already thinking about volume 2. Already ready to republish and order even more because abundance, baby. That's what it's all about. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.